John here again, and welcome to the first part of my Blu-ray collection. I have a good little stack right here, so yeah, let's kick this off with this first one, which is a big one. I have the James Bond collection. As you can see, every James Bond film from Dr. No to Skyfall, and I do have Spectre on DVD, so I have all the James Bond films. I haven't seen every one of them, but I've seen a few. But yeah, very cool to have, and definitely, worth to have if you're a Bond fan. I think I paid $80 for this. So, yeah, the James Bond collection. Again, from Dr. No to Skyfall. So I do have that. Next up, I got this at Big Lots. Still in the plastic. But we have The Heat with Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy, directed by Paul Feig, which I haven't seen, but I got for the Sandra Bullock collection, so no features. But I do have The Heat on Blu-ray. Next up, Good Disaster Flick. Daylight with Sylvester Stallone. Entertaining flick. I would say this is underrated. Features, you have the making of Daylight, commentary with director Rob Cohen, the Daylight Archives, which I guess is featurettes, a music video. But yeah, Daylight, really good film with Stallone. I thought he was good in the film, good as the lead character, in the lead role, I should say. But yeah, Daylight is great. Let's see. Next up, we have Matrix Reloaded, which is the only Matrix film that I have on Blu-ray. I know there's a new triple pack out there. I've seen it at Walmart, so I may have picked that up. So I have all the Matrix films on Blu-ray. But this one, entertaining sequel. I know there's a lot of people out there that disregard the sequels, but I like the Matrix sequels. They were fun. A lot of features, a lot of featurettes. But I do have Matrix Reloaded on Blu-ray. So I got that. Next up, we have Rain Man with Tom Cruise, Dustin Hoffman. Really good film. Let's see, Best Picture in 1988. Winner of 4 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Directing, Best Actor, Best Original Screenplay. Features, you have 3 commentary tracks, a featurette on the film, and Look at the Mysteries of Autism featurette. I deleted the scene, so very good performances. And that's Rain Man. So I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, really good flick, Backdraft. Directed by Ron Howard. Stars Kurt Russell, William Baldwin, Scott Glenn. You also have Robert De Niro in the film. Yeah. Features, you have an introduction by Ron Howard, igniting the story. Director and producer discuss the evolution of the film from script to screen. Some featurettes, bringing together the team, the explosive stunts, creating the villain, the fire, which they talk about the special effects of the fire. But yeah, Backdraft is a great film. Why did they make a sequel? Why did they make a Backdraft 2? I don't know, but yeah, great movie. Next up, we have Sleepaway Camp. And I haven't seen this one. This was actually a gift. Some features up here. I mean, you got a new commentary with the stars, Original commentary by director and writer. Some new interviews. The Blu-ray collector's edition of Sleepaway Camp. So I do have that. Next up, we have Baby Driver. And I think I got this on Black Friday because it's still in the plastic. But I've heard a lot of good things about this film. I will have to give it a watch. But yeah, Baby Driver. So I got that on Blu-ray. Let's see. Next up, great movie, great remake. And that's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. Features, you have commentary by director David Cronenberg, the Brundle Museum of Natural History featurette, a trivia track, fly swatter game, deleted and extended scenes, film test footage, some good features. We have The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, definitely a great movie, horror classic, and the sun is going in and out, but next up we have Hell or High Water, which this was a gift. I still haven't watched. I don't know, I should watch it, but the cast, you got Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, Ben Foster. But yeah, Hell or High Water. So I do have that on Blu-ray. Next up, a film that I'm not a big fan of, but we do have The Crow, City of Angels, which is a sequel to The Crow. I don't know, I just wasn't a fan of this one. Some interesting visuals, I will give you that, but I mean it's pretty much the same same story, same plot, and he really didn't need. The Crow didn't really need a franchise. I mean, I'm just being honest. But I do have City of Angels on Blu-ray, so I do have that. Next up, for the Van Damme collection, I have Replicant on Blu-ray. This is one I haven't seen. Directed by Ringo Lam, who I think unfortunately passed away. You have Michael Rooker in the film. You have an audio commentary by Jean-Claude Van Damme and Michael Rooker. So that's pretty neat. But I do have Replicant on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Outbreak. Definitely a great movie. No features, but great cast. You got Dustin Hoffman, Rene Russo, Morgan Freeman, Cuba Gooding Jr. in the film, Donald Sutherland, Kevin Spacey, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. I think I got this at FYE, but yeah, Outbreak. I do have that. Next up, we have Seven. Great movie, directed by David Fincher. You got Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. Features, you have 4 commentaries with director, actors, and other collaborators on the film. Additional and extended scenes. A lot of features. You got a whole list of features. But yeah, Seven is a great movie, a 90s classic. What's in the box? Next up, we have The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, directed by Ben Stiller. The commentary on this Blu-ray is a lot of fun because you have Ben Stiller, Judd Apatow, and Jim Carrey, and it's a fun commentary. You also have deleted and extended scenes, a gag reel, HBO First Look, rehearsal footage, the 15th anniversary edition of The Cable Guy. Yeah, The Cable Guy is a lot of fun. Jim Carrey's a riot. But next up, we have Copland. Great movie. Great cast. You have Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro. And not many people talk about this movie when it comes to like the genre of like, you know, gangster movies. I don't know if you would say this is a gangster movie, but like maybe a dirty cop film, you know, like dirty cop films. But yeah, Copland's great. You do have a commentary with the writer and director and producer Sylvester Stallone, and Robert Patrick is on the commentary track. The making of an urban western, deleted scenes, storyboard comparison. Yeah, Copland is great. Underrated as heck. Next up, Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan. Great 90s action film. One of my favorite Jackie Chan films. Yeah, no fear, no stuntman, no equal. Yeah, Rumble in the Bronx kicks ass. No features. I don't get it. Why doesn't this have features? But anyways. And I didn't want to do that. Can we get it? Let's see here. Trying to let it fall. There you go. We got it. Next up, so we can move up a little bit. We have Alien on Blu-ray. This includes the 1979 theatrical version and the 2003 director's cut. You have a commentary by Ridley Scott, another commentary for the theatrical version, introduction by Ridley Scott, director's cut only, a couple of featurettes on the scores, extended scenes. But yeah, Alien, what more can you say about that? Great movie, classic. Next up, we have Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. The only Hitchcock film that I have on Blu-ray. I don't have a lot of Hitchcock films, to be honest. But features, you have the making of Psycho, Psycho Sound, and The Master's Shadow, Hitchcock's Legacy, excerpts, I guess interviews with Hitchcock, the release of Psycho. It has a lot of features, but I do have Psycho on Blu-ray. Next up, The Dark Half. Really good flick with what's his name? Timothy Hutton. Yeah, Timothy Hutton, Michael Rooker in the film, directed by George Romero. He directed this. Features, you have audio commentary with writer and director George Romero, some behind the scenes stuff, all new retrospective. I remember watching some of the features recently. Timothy Hutton's not in the features, but you do have a good chunk of the cast and George Romero talk about the film, behind the scenes footage. So yeah, The Dark Half, underrated, I would say. Not many people talk about this film, but really good. Next up, definitely a fun movie, Major Payne with Damon Wayans. Great 90s comedy. No features, unfortunately, but yeah, what more can you say about this film? I love Major Payne, so got that on Blu-ray. Next up, I do have this as well. Well, I have all the Alien films on Blu-ray, so Alien Resurrection. Yeah, I don't care for this one. Sigourney Weaver's not bad in the film. It's just, yeah, this. I'm not too big on Resurrection. It doesn't feel like an Alien film to me. But you got Ron Perlman, Winona Ryder, a couple of features. But Alien Resurrection, nope, not a big fan. I prefer the first two by far. But moving on, we have this 4 film favorites collection of the Lethal Weapon films. So yes, I have all 4 Lethal Weapon films in this collection pack on Blu-ray. Love the first 3. The 4th one's good, you know, but I prefer the first 3 a little bit more. But definitely great to own. So I do have the Lethal Weapon collection on Blu-ray. Love Lethal Weapon. Next up, we have The Wolf on Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio, and as you can see, it's still in the plastic, so still have to watch. Directed by Martin Scorsese. You also have Jonah Hill in the film, Margot Robbie, Matthew McConaughey, Rob Reiner. But yeah, The Wolf on Wall Street, so I still have to give that a watch. Got that. Next up, definitely a great movie, and I have all 3 on Blu-ray. John Wick. Yes, I have all John Wick films on Blu-ray. You'll see the second one and the third one. But features, you have audio commentary. Don't fuck with John Wick. Calling in the Cavalry. So, yeah. I love John Wick franchise. I look forward to John Wick 4. I just hope that they don't screw it up. Because I love the first 3 so far. You know. But John Wick, love that one. Love the first one. So we'll see what John Wick 4. But moving on. We have Jumanji on Blu-ray. The features are, I mean, you have a Jumanji Jungle Adventure virtual board game, special effects crew commentary, 3 behind-the-scenes featurettes. As far as new features, you have a sneak peek at the Goosebumps movie, episodes from the animated series. You would think there'd be more with this. You know, better features. I mean, yeah, I mean, Robin Williams is passed, but you could do so much more for Jumanji. It's a great movie. The features are kind of lacking to me, but that wind's picking up. But Jumanji, I do have that on Blu-ray. Great movie, it's just the features. And damn wind. Let's see. Next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one on Blu-ray. And I do have the second one, which you'll see. This is one that I don't understand. Why doesn't this have features? I even asked Judith Hoag, and when I met Judith Hoag this year, who played April O'Neil, I was like, you know, why doesn't this have a special edition? You know, here in the States, you know, they should have one. And she's like, I agree. She's like, I don't know why I haven't been asked, because I would definitely like to be involved and, you know, do a commentary track, you know, with somebody. So if Judith Hoag is down for it, why not do it, you know? So, but yeah, classic movie, one of my favorite films of all time. So I got that on Blu-ray. Love the first one. Next up, we have The Fugitive. Harrison Ford, Tom Lee Jones. Great film. Classic, 90s classic. Features, you have The Thrill of the Chase, the pilot episode from the 2000 TV series, introduction by Andrew Davis and Harrison Ford, a commentary by Andrew Davis and Tom Lee Jones, which is kind of weird because I remember the commentary, but Tom Lee Jones is like on this telephone. He's like on speaker. So it's kind of weird. Two exciting documentaries. So, yeah, The Fugitive, great movie. Favorite of mine. Next up, which I do have the first one, and I also have Ghostbusters 2. Great sequel. Entertaining sequel. Not as great as the first, but still entertaining. And features, you have Ghostbusters 2 and Beyond, roundtable discussion with director Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd. Deleted scenes. But yeah, entertaining sequel. Ghostbusters 2 was a lot of fun. So I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, 90s action classic. We have Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. Features, you have an exclusive movie. Okay. Well, never mind. You do have a commentary track with director Rennie Harlin and Sylvester Stallone. Technical crew commentary. A personal introduction from director Rennie Harlin. Making up featurette, Stallone on the Edge. Deleted scenes. Cliffhanger, what more can you say about this film? Great to have this on Blu-ray. Classic. Next up, definitely a fun movie. I need to rewatch this one. The Phantom with Billy Zane. No features, but yeah, this one's a lot of fun. Really enjoy The Phantom, so I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, Goodfellas, definitely a classic. Well, again, what more can you say about this film? Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, directed by Martin Scorsese. But yeah, Goodfellas, one of my favorite Scorsese films. Two commentaries with the cast and crew. It says two commentaries, cast and crew, and cop and crook, whatever that means. You think there'd be more features for Goodfellas, but yeah, got that on Blu-ray. Next up, Blue Thunder, Roy Scheider. I got this on Blu-ray. I need to rewatch this one too because I remember this being fun. You also have Candy Clark in the film, Daniel Stern, Malcolm McDowell was a good villain. No features, but I do have Blue Thunder, so I got that. Next up, a classic, we have The Princess Bride. Really good film. Features, you have True Love, The Princess Bride phenomenon, interviews with the cast, 2 audio commentaries, 7 additional featurettes. So, pretty good features. We got The Princess Bride. So I got that. Next up, Heavy Metal. Really good animated film. Sex and crime and rock and roll. Features, you have original feature-length rough cut with optional commentary. by Carl Maykick. Deleted scenes with optional commentary, a heavy metal documentary. Yeah, just a really good film, really good soundtrack. But yeah, heavy metal. So I have that on Blu-ray. Of course it failed. But next up, I have this on DVD too. I don't know why I have both, but Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah, this is a weird movie with Keanu Reeves. I mean, Keanu Reeves is not bad. It's just, it's a weird movie. I mean, you got Dolph Lundgren, he gets killed by a dolphin in this film. But yeah, I do have Johnny Mnemonic on Blu-ray. No features, but I got that. Next up, In the Mouth of Madness, directed by John Carpenter. Sam Neill stars in the film. Great movie, and one of my favorite John Carpenter films. I would say my top 3. No features. Well, actually, I take that back. You got a commentary by director John Carpenter and cinematographer. But that's kind of it. I want to say there's a better Blu-ray out there with more to it, but In the Mouth of Madness is great. Great Carpenter film. Great horror film. I love In the Mouth of Madness. Next up, which I just picked up recently, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Saw this in the theater, had a great time, and I need to rewatch it. Yeah, I love the John Wick franchise, and again, we'll see with John Wick 4. I hope it's good. So, yeah, John Wick kicks ass. Love John Wick. Next up, which I picked this up recently, I think it was like $12. I have the Rambo collection on Blu-ray. All 4 Rambo films. And this is the complete collector's set. But yeah. So I got all the Rambos on Blu-ray. I know Rambo 5 is coming out on Blu-ray soon, but to be honest, I don't have a lot of interest. I wasn't a fan of that one. But moving on, we have, which I got this on Black Friday last year, Get Out, because you can tell by the promo sticker. But again, haven't seen, I've heard a lot of good things about the film, some good bonus features. I will have to check this one out. Let's Get Out. So I got that. Next up, we have Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines on Blu-ray. I got the first 3 Terminators on Blu-ray, so you'll see those. Special features, you have introduction by Arnold Schwarzenegger, 3 commentaries with the stars and director, a first look documentary, a lot of featurettes. So, yeah, not a good movie. Terminator 3, it's just not a good sequel. It has good action, but that's kind of it. But I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, we have iRobot with Will Smith. A really good film. I actually saw this in the theater when it came out back in the day. I can't believe it's been, what, almost 16 years? It's kind of crazy, but I remember really enjoying this film when it came out. A lot of features. But, yeah, iRobot, entertaining flick. Next up, Captain America Civil War. Really good comic book film. This one I enjoyed, and actually, to me, like all the Captain America films were great. Um, I love the first one, the second one, and this one. I don't have a lot of comic book films on Blu-ray, but I did enjoy Civil War, so I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, definitely a classic, and I don't understand why this doesn't have a special edition, but we have Mortal Kombat on Blu-ray. Yeah, great video game film. All you have on here is a Mortal Kombat the video game trailer, and tie-in animated adventure Mortal Kombat The Journey Begins, and that's it. Again, not much for features. I don't understand why. It deserves it. I know there's a reboot coming out, so maybe around then we'll get something, but that's another year. But Mortal Kombat's a great video game film. Definitely the best. So I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, Terminal Velocity with Charlie Sheen. I need to rewatch this one. I remember this one being fun. So, fun little action film from the 90s. Yeah, Terminal Velocity. So I got that one. Next up, great sequel, 90s classic, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Yeah, great movie. What more can you say about this film? And this is the Skynet edition. Some features up here. But yeah, Terminator 2, T2. Great movie. Next up, we have The Punisher with Thomas Jane. A great comic book film, one of my favorites. I wish there was a sequel, a proper sequel with Thomas Jane, not with Ray Stevenson. I would like to see Thomas Jane come back as his character. I thought he did a great job as Frank Castle. John Travolta was a good villain. Not a lot of features, but yeah, The Punisher is great. So, got that on Blu-ray. Next up, fuck this movie. No, but we have Alien 3. Yeah, like I said, I just don't care for this one. The first two are the best. This one sucks. But I do have all the Alien films on Blu-ray, so I do have Alien 3. Next up, definitely a classic, Darkman. And I know the sun is going in and out here. I got a big tree in the front yard, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, Darkman, and this is the collector's edition. Special features, you have new interview with Frances McDormand, audio commentary by director and photographer, director of photography, interview with Larry Drake, interviews with actors, interviews with the production designer. A lot of interviews. I mean, that's a lot of features. I don't know if Liam Neeson's in the features, but yeah, great movie. Directed by Sam Raimi. And that's Darkman. I don't know if I love that cover, but I love the poster. I wish that was the cover, but yeah, Darkman's great. I know there were sequels, but I don't have the sequels. Next up, we have Christmas Vacation. Definitely a holiday classic. And I know at the end of December, near me, well, like an hour away, they're going to re-show this movie, and following the re-showing of Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase is going to be there for like a Q&A, which is cool. I don't know if I'll be able to go, but you know, that's a cool, that'll be a fun thing to go to. But yeah, definitely holiday classic. Love Christmas Vacation. I'll be watching that again soon. Let's see. Doing all right on time. Next up, we got Clerks, which I haven't seen Clerks. I don't have a lot of Kevin Smith films for the collection. I mean, I have, you know, Dogma, but I don't have a lot of his stuff. But I do have Clerks, which I still have to watch. A lot of features. So I got that on Blu-ray. Next up, one of my favorite comedies, My Cousin Vinny with Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei, Fred Gwynn. You do have one commentary track up here, but that's kind of it. It's kind of surprising that this doesn't have more, but I mean, why not bring in Joe Pesci for an interview? You know, talk about behind the scenes, Ralph Macchio. But yeah, My Cousin Vinny is a lot of fun. What is a Ute? But next up, Tommy Boy, and this is the Holy Schnikey edition. A lot of good features, commentaries, featurettes. Behind the Laughter, Grown Up Farley, 6 deleted scenes, alternate takes, extended scenes. A lot of good features, bonus materials. But yeah, Tommy Boy, Chris Farley's missed. Next up, we have Throw Mama from the Train. A fun movie, fun comedy from the 80s, directed by Danny DeVito. Featured as you have Crafting a Dark Comedy, Why Do You Hate Your Mother, The Night Was, deleted scenes, okay. But this one's a lot of fun. Billy Crystal, Danny DeVito, and Ramsey. So I do have Throw Mama from the Train. Next up, one of my favorites, Big Trouble in Little China. And I know there's a new Blu-ray coming out, which has a lot of interviews and such with the cast. I don't know if Kurt Russell's in that, but I would like to get that Blu-ray. But this one, I mean, has a good commentary track by Carpenter and Kurt Russell. Definitely a fun commentary. A featurette from back in the day. But I love Big Trouble in Little China. Definitely a classic. Next up, I have the RoboCop Trilogy Collection on Blu-ray. See if we can get it out. Yeah, the RoboCop Trilogy. RoboCop's classic. RoboCop 2 is a great sequel to me. RoboCop 3 sucks. Some good features. But yeah. I actually got this at a grocery store for a few bucks. Definitely worth picking up. So I do have all the RoboCop films. Next, I don't know why this is still in the plastic. I've seen it before. But Braveheart with Mel Gibson. Great movie. 90s classic. You do have a commentary by Mel Gibson up here. A couple of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, Braveheart. What more can you say about that? Next. This is one I haven't seen. I have to check out. The Killer by John Woo. Stars Chai Yun-fat. I've seen Hard Boiled. I love Hard Boiled. This one, I heard that John Woo is trying to remake this film right here, which you don't need. But yeah, I have to watch this one, so I do have The Killer on Blu-ray. Next, definitely a 90s classic, White Man Can't Jump. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson. Includes both the theatrical version and extended version. That's about the only feature, but yeah, great movie. You know, what more can you say about this? Love that one. Next up, a 90s classic, action classic, Speed. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper. You do have a commentary by director, commentary by the screenwriter and producer, a trivia track, a speed takedown game. I don't know what that's about, but it'd be cool to have like a commentary track by Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. You know, it'd be fun to listen to. Maybe they should update, you know, this Blu-ray. But Speed is great. Love Speed. Next, definitely a great movie, Good Will Hunting, with Matt Damon, Robin Williams. A lot of good special features. I mean, a 4-part retrospective, the era of Good Will Hunting, audio commentary with the director, screenwriters. But yeah, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, deleted scenes, and much more. But yeah, Good Will Hunting is a great movie. The 15th anniversary. So I got that. Next up, definitely a comedy classic, Young Frankenstein. Yeah, great movie. Features, you have commentary by Mel Brooks, the making of Young Frankenstein, trivia track, some featurettes, outtakes. But yeah, love this movie, Young Frankenstein. Abby, normal. Next up, Unbreakable. I know the lighting's going in and out. It's kind of nuts today, but yeah, Unbreakable's great. Probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson. Some good features. But I do have Unbreakable. So I got that. Let's see here. Grabbing these last few. Let's see. Next, good on time. We have Spider-Man, the first one, which you'll see the other ones too. But I don't know, this one. I don't know. It's just. I would say the second one's my favorite. This one has some. Compared to what was, well, I'll give the film good score. Willem Dafoe I thought was a good villain, but there's just some things about it that don't work for me now. But I do have that on Blu-ray, Spider-Man. And yes, I do have, if there's ever a rant, Spider-Man 3. Piece of shit sequel. But yeah, this one sucks. I mean, I bought the Blu-rays. I don't know why, but I do have that. Spider-Man 3. Not a fan. Next up, this is actually a gift. Unearthed and Untold. The Path to Pet Cemetery, which is a documentary over, well, it's an hour and a half, but it includes also other features, a couple of commentaries, alternate scenes, video interview with the creators. I mean, just, look at, that's a good little list right there. But, really cool. Again, Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Cemetery. So, yeah, this was a gift, so I got that. Next up, The Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, definitely a classic. Features, you got some deleted scenes, but there's not too much. But I do have all the Terminator films on Blu-ray. Not Genesis, Dark Fate's not out yet, but the first three I do have on Blu-ray, so I got that. Great movie. Next up, another great Arnold film, End of Days. Got this on Blu-ray. You do have a commentary track by Peter Hyams, but that's kind of it. Director Peter Hyams, a commentary track, but yeah, End of Days. I need to rewatch that one again because this one's a great movie. Nobody talks about much, but End of Days. Well, I've already shown the first two, so they do have Spider-Man 2, which I think is the best one of the three. That's just me. Some decent features, but yeah. Spider-Man 2, I do have that. Next up, I think at this point I've shown all of them, but to me, my favorite of the franchise, Aliens. Great sequel. 80s classic. Features, you have commentary by director James Cameron, introduction by James Cameron, isolated score by James Horner, extended scenes. So yeah, I have all the Alien films on Blu-ray. Got that. Next up, definitely a great movie, The Mummy. And on here you have some good features. You have deleted scenes, unraveling the legacy of the mummy, feature commentary by director Stephen Sommers and editor, and you got a separate commentary track by Brendan Fraser, and then it sounds like fun. I actually make that 3 commentaries. You got another commentary track with the actors, some of the actors, but yeah, pretty good features. So I got The Mummy. I don't have the second one or the third one. I like the second one, but don't have the third one. But next, Caddyshack. Definitely a great comedy. Feature-length 30th anniversary documentary with the movie's cast. Retrospective featurette. But yeah, I do have Caddyshack. Maybe deserves more features, I would say, but great comedy. Next up, really good flick, Thelma and Louise. I know it kind of gets dark when I, like that, see, but never mind that. Yeah, really good film, directed by Ridley Scott. Features, you got audio commentary by Ridley Scott, audio commentary with Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis, The Last Journey, deleted scenes. But yeah, Thelma and Louise, good flick. Not my favorite Ridley Scott film, but not a bad movie. Next up, The Usual Suspects with Stephen Baldwin, Kevin Pollak, Kevin Spacey, Benicio del Toro. Yeah, I like this one. I like the Unusual Suspects. I've seen it once before. Good cast. But I do have that on Blu-ray. Next up, we have this triple feature of Natural Born Killers, the director's cut, Any Given Sunday, and JFK. I think I got this at FYE. The only one I haven't seen is Natural Born Killers. I've seen these two right here. Any Given Sunday is really good. JFK is good. Good Oliver Stone film. And yeah, I haven't seen Natural Born Killers, believe it or not. So I have to check that one out. But pretty cool triple pack. So I got that. Next up, The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. Haven't seen, but you know, to get more Dustin Hoffman films for the collection. So I do have The Graduate. And lastly, for this part 1, we have Fletch with Chevy Chase. Additional features, you have the making of and remembering the film Fletch, relive the insanity of this comedy masterpiece through interviews of the cast. I don't know if Chevy Chase is in the features, but yeah, a fun movie. I enjoy Fletch, so I got that. And that is part 1 of my Blu-ray collection. Hope you enjoyed part 1, and stay tuned for part 2. Have a good day.